Good day, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, uh, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. At this point, I really don't care who picks up this story. I just want to share it. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Gary Lamb, and YouTube, I believe, censored me. I don't know how to prove that. I don't have the money to prove that. And I'm trusting that one of you, if not all of you, can find a way to reveal if this is true or not. Because if big tech is censoring people's voices, that needs to be revealed. If big tech is in cahoots with the government, that needs to be revealed. And the only way that I can get down to the nitty-gritty of this is if I share my story. And I don't think just a simple YouTube video without putting the backing behind it is going to do it any justice. I mean, I've tried this many times without using your names. And every single time, nothing. I've been screaming to the top of my lungs about the censorship, right? Back when COVID was so hot, we wasn't allowed to talk about COVID. You would be deplatformed, demonetized, shadow banned, or demoted. I, like many others who wanted to share the truth, who saw what was going on, who can tell you what a corruption it was and how it's being used, couldn't, because we couldn't share our voices with the world. I do believe I was targeted. And I am now in poverty because the corruption reached me and my family. Back in 2020, not only was I being censored by being told that there were certain things that I wasn't allowed to talk about, or it would be classified as misinformation or disinformation, I was also told that my tax return is frozen because I underreported. It turns out that I didn't underreport. My wife's identity was stolen. And yeah, we got a big fat oopsies, but nothing more. Because who cares about people that's poor, broke, or impoverished? There's nothing you really can get out of them, unless of course you are one of the corrupt people who will do business with the poor, poverty, and broke, who will take advantage of that, which happened to us many times, because no bank would touch us after my credit got shot. No bank would touch us. That was the part that really hurts, because it's like I've done business with you guys for many years, and no banks would touch us. I mean, I know you know a lot about that, Trump. You know how banks operate. You know better than anybody how banks operate. But the point is that I want to get my story out there. And I think this is the very last chance that me and America have when it comes down to this election. I think this is our very last chance to get our voices out, because if they have their way, they will silence every American. They will slap a disinformation, misinformation title on every person who has a voice outside of what they think is worthy of mainstream. And that will be the end of the First Amendment. I believe the First Amendment protects the Second Amendment. And without the First Amendment, there's no point of the Second Amendment, right? Because how can you protect yourself if you can't tell people, hey, they're raiding my house, taking my stuff, right? I was fortunate, and I said this many times, I was fortunate to have a YouTube channel, because had I not had a YouTube channel, I would have disappeared like most of us. I mean, I don't know how many people that got smacked and clobbered like I did in the last 3-4 years. I cannot imagine how many people lost their businesses, man. I can't not imagine, because they don't have a voice, right? They don't have a voice. Like, What are they going to do? Put a YouTube video up and hopes that somebody stumbles across it? Right? They don't know how this game works. Hell, I didn't know how this game worked back then when I said message to Tim Pool. I didn't know how the game worked. I was just thanking somebody that helped me see outside of the Iron Curtain, or through the Iron Curtain, or reveal the Iron Curtain, you know, whatever, to show that the emperor that doesn't have any clothes, or the Wizard of Oz is nothing more than a carny, you know. I was fortunate. And I'm doing this, I believe, because God sent me here to do this. I truly believe that. I would not be doing this if I didn't think so. I would have just went and got a job and just disappeared. It wasn't like I was making any money on YouTube. I mean, my God. Everybody that done YouTube knows you don't make money on YouTube. You grind and you grind and you grind and you grind, and then you grind some more and hope that something hits. And if it does, great. You might have a great month this month, but you got to do it all over again for the next several months, because that's just how YouTube works. Unless you get a really strong train of followers and your content is on point, then maybe, just maybe, you'll start seeing a good YouTube career. But for the most part, you're in the trenches. You're in the trenches. And that's why some of it, to me, means that maybe this is not YouTube's fault, just how the game works. But after Zuckerberg came out what he said, man, I can't help but wonder. I can't help but wonder, is that what happened to me? I know I wasn't allowed to talk about COVID. Nobody was, right? YouTube made it clear. You can't talk about COVID. That would be considered misinformation. And if I'm pretty sure that the Biden administration didn't just stop with Zuckerberg. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he did go to other social medias, platforms. And if he did, I would like to know who. Because we cannot have our voices censored in America, guys. Shadow banning can't happen. Demoting can't happen. I don't care if you are saying the sky is purple. You are an American. You have the right to say it. You may be classified as a crazy person, but you have the right to say the sky is purple. Because what if where you are, the sky is in fact purple? We need to know why the sky is purple. And I fear this is our last chance. I fear this is our last chance. As Americans, I fear this is our absolute last chance to raise our voices. You don't gotta like Trump. You don't gotta like Trump. But you're gonna wish a Trump-like person comes to your rescue if we lose this election, guys. You're gonna wish you had one. And Trump, he has all the money in the world to just disappear if he wanted to. I don't believe he will. I believe he's fighting this thing because he believes in his country, like I do, and like a lot of Americans do. Many Americans believe that this country will find a way back to its previous glory and fix all the problems that we've created in our history. Like, I'm not worried about being black in this country anymore. There was a time that I did, but I'm not worrying about that anymore. I just want my freedom of speech. If I can get my freedom of speech back, I win. Because I will open my mouth, because I have a big mouth, every single time I see corruption. Because I see what happens when you don't open your mouth. I see what happens when you agree with censorship, this is what happens. So whoever wants this story, I'm game.